whole lot of other different peoples. Some folks came into the church and said they're having some problems on Roosevelt Road.
It was quite hot that day. And they had the water on, you know, the fire hydrant on Troop and Roosevelt. The younger kids were playing in the fire hydrant.
12th District Police Department met us there and asked us could we make those folks turn off the fire hydrant down on Troop and Roosevelt Road because the water pressure was...
But on Taylor Street, they could have theirs on all the time. Never turn it off. White folks over there, see. But not on Roosevelt. We couldn't do it. We couldn't cool off, you know.
We lost our argument because how could we tell the young people to cut off the fire hydrant when you could see it and nobody said anything about it? So the police officer went with the wrench to cut it off. And one of the young brothers threw a bucket of water on the police officer. So he said, oh, well, that was real refreshing. He wasn't upset, but the older police officer got mad, said, you know, like he was attacking the police. And he grabbed, and the older police officer fell.
And an altercation ensued, whereas the youngsters got to fighting with the police. And that triggered off one of the biggest riots that I ever been in on the west side of Chicago.
And I understand as a result of that, that's when they built the 2 swimming pools in the area, one near the high-rise development and then one down by the 16 stories development.
Residents formed organizations to fill a void surrounding young adult activities. Acknowledge Youth for the Future is an organization that provides programming catering to the teens of ABLA.
When you talk about programs from the YMCA or the Chicago Park District or the Boys Club, you need to have a...
And we're down seeing the last part of the urban renewal, so to speak, or either black folks removed. We're looking at this building here. This building here is a 1209 building, the last of the 1209 building of the 16 stories. And this area, as you shoot here, you'll see the wrecking ball here. This is a building, 1111 building, that's being completely tore down. It'll be down before the week is over with. You can see right across Catacomb there, you can see St. Ignatius Catholic Church. And this little small building here is the fire department that's been in this neighborhood for years and years. Now, when you shoot over this here way, or come this here way, you'll see this school over here, John Smith School over here. And this school's been in the neighborhood. I went to this school when I was a little boy. This is school here, John Smith School. And as you look across the street, here, this is the new building that they are building in this here community. For those that come out of these here buildings here in the village, they have put up some buildings for some of the tenants that have been in this area for a long time. And this is how they look from the outside. I haven't got a chance to go on the inside, but one of these days I got some friends that live in this building. We'll get to on the inside here. But this is what we are writing about. We are writing about with the Chicago Historical Society. We are writing about the West Side organization that will service this community, that was in this community for many years, over 30-some years ago, that was servicing all of the had members in the 16 stories, members in the Abla home, in the Robert or Brooks home. This is the area that we're on Racine, right off of Racine and Roosevelt Road right now. And this is just the last of the wrecking ball. Like I said, from now on, once the SIP building go down, this will be the last completion of the SIP. And this is taken over by the University of Chicago, University of Illinois. It's taken all the SIP property, took all the SIP property over. And all the peoples where they went, some of them have identification, some of them have moved farther west or all parts of the city. But a whole lot of these folks are homeless also. Some of them had the opportunity to move back across the street into this new housing over here on Main Street. Well, this is why we're shooting this here part here, because this is a part of history, and we just wanted to get the last part of this here. St. Ignatius has been here over 100 years. It's a Catholic church, Catholic school, where folks go to school. They've been here for over 100 years. Also, the fire department is in this small building here. So we're gonna move on a little farther, but this is what we're doing this morning. This is Wednesday morning. I have my assistant with me, Mrs. Tyler, that's doing the filming of this historic event that's taking place right now. Thank you.
Yeah.
This here park here, Fosco Park, been in the neighborhood for years. As you see, this is a part of the network that they're gonna have, old Fosco Park, and I guess they're gonna have more programs and more activities for the folks that's in this here community. But as you can see, now this here's all, this part here, 13th Street, you can see the new building and the contrast of the new building. It looks much better. You can see the for the children, that they have some material up there for concerning sliding boards and things like that for the children. So the area is being gentrified and looking gonna look much better. We're gonna go a little farther. I think down the street down here they even have a swimming pool. So we're gonna go by there. But this is a part of the whole neighborhood that we really definitely are looking for to come up and to be a better neighborhood. We'll go a little farther. Take a picture of this Chicago Housing Authority, old Jane Addams Center. Been the old center where they used to have parties at for folks. And this is the old swimming pool here. I'm gonna get over. The swimming pool here was put in this here community years ago after the 1966 incident that happened over on Truth Street in Roosevelt Road. There was an incident that was disturbing in the community over the fire hydrant. And because of the fire hydrant disturbing, they didn't have no swimming pool. So the city and the community folks got together, ABC, agency businesses and community got together with the city and they decided to build a community swimming pool. So this swimming pool have been here now for over 30-something years. And this is a great church here, a great Mount Sinai Baptist Church have been in this community under the tutelage of Reverend Jones years ago. I don't know who the minister is now, but this here was a part of the community years ago. This here swimming pool, and that's why they put it in transit so they wouldn't have no more disturbances in the community. And all over in this here part here is still some part of the it's still part of the village, and it's part of the row houses that's still here in this here community here. But in this here part here, the Apple Transitional Job Center, this is white men are trying to help people get jobs in this here community. This dealer is one of the persons that's really been doing a tremendous job in this community here with these projects and this here building that's going on in this here community. And this is just a great part of the near west side, and a part of the west side organization that did a job in this they've been surely missed down in this here neighborhood over 30-something years ago.
And they live by sacraments. That is to say, they see deeper meaning in whatever it is that they do. So Faith Incorporated reflects this idea that you start with the little folk, not the big shots. And when you start with the little folk, and they assume leadership and control over what it is that they do, you understand what reality is. And Faith Incorporated represents this through the ideas and the work of John Crawford and others who were in prison at a particular time in history, and who reflected and said, you know, we don't need necessarily some other people to do our planning for us. We can do this ourselves. And since we've been in the joint, we can come out and determine what it is that we do in order to become the most productive of citizens and help the ex-offenders adjust to the situation and make a new reality in their situation. And it reflects really what John Crawford was one of the original organizers of the West Side Organization, which was a people's organization, which said that we assume understanding and control of our situation. And since we are poor and unemployed, we're going to do something about our unemployment. So they organized on that basis.
Dr. Hargrave, since Faith Incorporated is an organization that in this here time is addressing issues dealing with prison issues, and since we have a board of directors made up of more than half of our ex-offenders, what do commitment or honesty mean to this type of organization to keep expanding and developing?
Our commitment is the real base of an organization like this. It is guys and girls who have been through the situation. They know what the realities are. They feel that as they have got off the sidewalk and walked on the curbs where all the stuff is, that they can help each other. And it won't be in terms of rhetoric, but in terms of real togetherness. They've been through it. They know what the reality is. They've seen it. So therefore, they can sit down and plan honestly and earnestly together. So they're committed to a solution, because the solution involves them. It does not involve somebody else, where you get doing something for the good of other folk. You're doing something for the good of yourself and others like you. And the commitment then is to each other. And usually, if you have a commitment to each other, as in the case of faith, it's based upon your commitment to something higher than we are. And that makes for the loyalty. You give your commitment to God or to a religious figure. You give it to Jesus the Christ, and therefore, because you give it to that, you then say that everybody receives this.
What do you agree that people that's involved with faith or will be involved with faith, there was a vision that was given to the president, which is myself, Reverend Crawford. Don't you think folks, once they come aboard, have to catch the vision, so to speak, to be able to understand that they won't get rich money-wise working in this type of organization or on this type of battlefield?
Yeah, but the vision is so pronounced. In other words, you and the others who have gone through this, because it's made up predominantly of people who have been in the joint and who have caught the vision in the beginning, this becomes infectious. You have convinced everybody that we ain't in it for ourselves, our own aggrandizement. We're in it to help each other. And in helping each other, we help ourselves. It's not that I want to help myself and dominate. What I want to do is to help somebody else. And because I help somebody else, it causes me to grow and my vision to increase. And you have included folk who, by virtue of their coming and being a part of it, catch a larger vision which is greater than themselves. And you got a lot of them, they might have said, I got to help myself when I get out, but once they get out, they're involved in terms of helping the whole group.
How about those that get a misconception of the vision or get a different interpretation of the vision and think, well, we're going to get some money out of this here, we're going to be able to make some money out of this here, we're going to be able to get rich. And that's the reason why their misinterpretation of the vision held them there. And when they can't see the money coming, if they see some money coming, they figure that it's supposed to be for them individually, not for the whole. And don't you think that's a kind of like a misinterpretation of a commitment and integrity, because it says that if I don't get paid, if I don't see no money